Welcome everybody. Just taking a few minutes here to reawaken our grid from last night. Welcome to our crystal class with the Mystical Institute of Healing Arts. My name is Alicia McNaughton and I will be your host. Today's topic is Starseed crystals. And we just use this beautiful crystal grid here in ceremony activation with the Pleiadian star system. So these are really happy crystals today. And the grid just wanted to stay up and keep this vibration going for our crystal class. So my room feels really, really high vibe. This is officially a blast you to outer space grid. We went way up into the 5th dimension yesterday. If you wanted to watch that activation, in the comments after the class, which is titled Kota Kuna Carpe Right, will be the activation that we did with this grid. But today we're going to be discussing starseeded crystal quartz. So if you can see, I'm going to try to play with the light. These have all of these little dot along them. And that is said to be their encoded information. They're a little bit harder to see than the Lemurians. These are crystal quartz, but every single one in this batch that we picked up has this. There you go, you can see it in this one a lot more. Dot. Sometimes there are even these little swirlies. And oftentimes record keepers are known for triangles. Triangles can be, you know, almost engraved in the crystal. But they don't have to be triangles for them to be encoded with information. It's just normally the crystal would be very, you know, I don't even know if I can find a clear side without information for you to see. Let me see if I can find one so that you'll be able to tell the difference. I gotta play with the light a little bit. So that's the clear side, and then that's the side with star-seeded information on it. So this is crystal quartz. Crystal quartz is highly programmable. And I'll read to you from the Pocket Book of Stones about clear quartz. So the key words are programmability, amplification of one's intention, magnification of ambient energies, clearing, cleansing, healing, memory, works with all chakras. So it's the element of storm, which means that it works with all chakras, it works with all elements. It can be used to intensify or magnify energies, feelings, heal the emotional body. Spiritually, it enhances one's clarity and aids communication with spirit guides. So that's just the brief definition of crystal quartz. And in the center, that's what we have here. And this one's just so cool. I love this one. It looks like an eye with a beautiful rainbow in the center. I'm just gonna keep turning it for you. I just couldn't believe how unbelievably clear this one was. So this one is for sale, and because of the quality of it, it's $52. It's one of the most beautiful spheres I have ever had the pleasure of working with. There's the rainbow. So it was here last night, and then we had this fun light. Ta-da! I don't know, I have so many lights in here, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there we go. We'll let it glow for you. And I'll read to you from our larger book of stones. You can see how well loved this book is about record keepers. Record keepers activate cellular memory and assist in retrieving information from one's own lineage or past lives. These crystals tend not to be programmed with information, rather they work as a key to unlock what is recorded in one's own cellular structure. Each triangle appears as a trigger to activate a specific chain link on the DNA. When working with these crystals, it is not unusual for triangles to rise or to disappear as aspects of one's own cellular memory are cleared and integrated, and new aspects are activated. So I know that sounds really far-fetched, but I've actually seen it happen. I had another psychic come over to my house, and we had crystal classes at my house, and we used to do these mini ceremony sound bath crystal classes, and she really loved all of my crystals, and she took one of her quartz crystals and laid it like next to one of mine, and it stayed there throughout the entire night, right? And it had mine had all these record keepers and hers didn't. Well, the next day she went and she looked at her crystal, and sure enough, there were record keepers on it the next day. Totally blew our minds. We were just beside ourselves. That was really interesting. And I looked at mine and it appeared to have less. So I did not mind that. It was just proof that these are living beings and they are continuously growing and shifting and changing. And the information can be transferred like a stick drive into a computer from a crystal, particularly a quartz crystal, to the person or the other crystal. All right, the next one that we have here is another type of quartz, and this is a Herkimer diamond. And this is from Herkimer, New York. It only comes from one place. So when something only comes from one place, they tend to be more expensive. They're more rare. Like this piece right here is $111, which, believe it or not, is an amazing price. And it's naturally double terminated. This is not cut. They come right out of the ground looking like this. And this one has a lot of really good clarity and rainbows, and it's just a beautiful piece. They're all beautiful. Let's see if I can hold that. This one is less expensive because it's a little bit more cloudy. So I was able to price these at more of the $33 range, which is pretty amazing for the size of it. Because if you're an energy healer, because it's flat on one side and raised on the other, this works really well when laying it on the chakras to bring in higher vibrational light for activation energy. And they still have pretty amazing rainbows inside of them. They just aren't super crystal clear like the more AAA quality Hercs. So we'll talk to you about Herkimer diamonds. So keywords are dreams, vision, purification, spiritualization of physical life. Again, it's the element of storm, works with all the elements, but it tends to work with the third eye and the crown chakra. So it works in the higher chakras. So dream work with Herkimer diamonds can be a wonderful experience. One must simply sleep with one or more of these crystals, wearing them or putting them in the pillowcase. So it's nice to program both or one or both before sleeping with an affirmation such as, I call forth my highest dreams and I remember and integrate them perfectly. So Herkimer diamonds can enhance the properties of any beneficial stone, yet they have a particular affinity with moldavite. Perhaps because moldavite is the catalyst for one's spiritual transformation and evolution, the Herkimers blend with moldavite, bringing more conscious awareness to the growth process. And we did that here. So I'll show you the what they're talking about, the moldavite. Let me see if I can hold it up in the light for you better. We have a few of these pieces. And we had another one. The third one is going to be for the crystal reading portion. But we'll talk about that next. We're going to keep reading about Herkimer diamonds. So these crystals, beyond almost all others, are manifestations of pure, solidified spiritual light. They emanate a high, harmonious energy that positively sings on the upper levels of the quartz vibration spectrum. They bring in the brightest crystalline light, and they help purify one's energy field and attune one with the white light of the divine essence. Angels are really drawn to their pure etheric radiance, and so are the light beings, which is why we have it on our Starseed grid. So like I said, this is a blast you to the moon grid. Okay, so we also have apophyllite tips. Now these came off of clusters, so these are these would slide right off. These are like the tips, and they're known to do that. And then these like to, you know, be placed on the chakras, particularly the third eye. I joke and call them a unicorn horn. We once did an event where I channeled and my husband played sound, and we gave every single person in the audience one of these to put on their third eye. And that was one of our favorite things to do. So we'll talk about those. So clear apophyllite, the keywords are interdimensional awareness. It works with the crown chakra and the third eye. The element is wind and earth. Physically, it supports an infusion of spiritual light, making the light move into the physical body. It aids in rediscovering trust in the divine after disillusionment, so it's really good for regaining your faith. It facilitates interdimensional travel, connecting with spirit guides and angels. So you can see why, again, I picked this. So we have a number of really cool things in here. These are some actual meteorites. And they have a little bit of rust on them, unfortunately, because I cleared them and it rained. But they still work really, really well. We also have these amazing tektites. So we'll discuss tektites. Connection with the ETs, telepathic communication, raising one's vibrational level. Works with all chakras, works with all elements, so they call that storm. Supports the body in integrating high frequency energies. Helps starborns overcome homesickness and loneliness. Increases psychic sensitivity. Enhances telepathic link to ETs. So tektites carry extraterrestrial streams of communication and information. They vibrate with high frequency pulsations, which can put one in touch with ETs. A being known as Ashtar, who has been named as a benevolent ET guardian, is believed to use tektites to facilitate telepathic communication with humans. For those interested in this, it is recommended that one sleep or meditate with a tektite taped to their third eye or placed near their head. Experiencing this connection can feel like a homecoming to starborns and to others who feel a kinship with extraterrestrial beings. So I, lately have not been able to put these down. I've got one right next to my bedside, and I've got one right next to my computer when I am posting, my channelings and my classes and things like that. This just feels so good. And, when I first started working with these, it was a lot to handle. I could only handle it in small increments. Now that I'm working with the high frequency light on a daily basis, this just helps to push it through. So if you're feeling stuck in a process, and don't be afraid of bringing in more light. Always take breaks if you get tired. Sometimes the body can only handle so much, but this is really great for when you're ready to turn the volume up again and start to flush out some of that energy and level up. or if you're going to do a reading. I love to do star origin readings for people and tune into, you know, their off-world, otherworldly lifetimes and help them to understand, you know, what some of their gifts are, what they're meant to be doing, and help to clear their blockages so that they can ground and actually achieve it here in the physical world. Because a lot of star seeds tend to just want to go back home, right? We don't want to be here. Well, if you can get all the way down into your physical body and you can connect with your starry ancestors, you can actually anchor that vibration here, and then it's okay to be here and be journeying and be exploring. So I love to do that for people. It does so much for me when I learn how to do that. All right, so we are going to talk about Moldavite. The key words are transformation, rapid spiritual evolution, chakra activation, cleansing, protection, increased incidence of synchronicities. It works with all the chakras, especially the heart and the third eye. It works with all the elements, storm. It supports attunement of the body to its highest level of function. Emotionally, it opens the heart and inspires one to fulfill one's highest destiny. So spiritually, it catalyzes multiple and very powerful spiritual awakenings. It's known to be a very sacred stone. So a lot of people are almost afraid of this stone because their awakenings were just so intense. So much happened for them after they received their very first one. And I was lucky enough to buy these and to have my first one, you know, before China started to make knockoffs and fake ones. They are very expensive. Like a little piece like this could run $80, $60 to $80. So if you're finding them online and they're cheap, they're probably fake. You know, be careful of the crystals that you find in China, unfortunately. And these are where meteors hit the earth, and that's what a tektite is what happens to the sand. And this is a little bit transparent. I'm gonna see if I can. There you go. All right, that's kind of hot. I'm gonna stop that. Whew. Maybe we can try it this way. There you go. So now you can see how it's a little bit transparent. A lot of times people will polish these and turn them into really beautiful gems, like cut gemstone pieces, but it works really well either way. So that is what, oh yeah, oh, I almost forgot the best one. Well, they're all pretty remarkable, but we're gonna talk about Andaras. Before I get off of the topic of Moldavite though, it was one of my very, very first high activation crystals. I did start to feel a lot of energy circulating through my chakras like this, and it was very cleansing, and I started to have visions. It was one of the first times that it raised my vibration enough to be able to really reopen my clairvoyance that I had shut down as a child for a period of time because I was, you know, my father was a musician and I was raised in recording studios and people were always, you know, loaded, and it was sort of a fun upbringing, but the vibration wasn't really high. You know, as it's gotten higher and I've learned how to purify my lifestyle, my body, my health, my activities, the people that I spend time with, and I'm no longer, you know, living the rock star life that my dad was living, it was safe for me to start to open up spiritually again, and this was really beneficial in helping me to cleanse all that energy out, all that psychic sludge, and really start to shine up my divine life purpose, my abilities. So I highly recommend it. All right, so the next one that we're going to talk about are these Andara glass. And I'll just tell you, they are controversial. Many people will tell you that they have, that they're just glass and that they don't have any energetic properties. But I will tell you, in my experience, if you were to hold one of these Andaras in one hand and hold a piece of glass in another. It is a very, very different vibration. So those of you who can feel vibration, you know, I challenge you to attempt that and to see what you think. And these charge up really nicely in the sun. They are now in the Crystal Bible number 3, but for the longest time they were not. And you know, there are people who will say that these are a lot like the tektites are a form of glass that were hit by a meteorite, and then the sand, you know, turned into these sort of glass-like, obsidian-like formations. Obsidian is another one that's like, you know, when the volcano melts, I don't know what it would be, I guess melting the sand, melting the stone, it turns into this obsidian glass. So there are a lot of people who feel the same way about these, only they are only found in Mount Shasta. So I'm gonna grab this piece of paper that talks all about that. All right, so Andara glass is used to access higher dimensions of consciousness. Andaras will open and cleanse each chakra and will detoxify any form of negativity. The healing vibrations are amazing and truly from another world. The Andaras will increase your access to all universal knowledge and will greatly accelerate your spiritual development. Andaras is one of the best crystals for giving one the ability to channel. Andaras are also very powerful healers and activators. Andaras are ancient healing crystals that have been around for many moons and are believed to have been used in the healing temples of Atlantis and Lemuria, but only now in recent years they have been recognized in the Western world as powerful healers and ascension tools for spiritual advancement. All right, so they're found in the high Sierra Mountains of Northern California, in these high energy vortex sites. The monatomic elements of gold, silver, rhodium, chromium, platinum, and other monatomic crystals were found in this deposit. This natural mineral exhibits extraordinary properties that strengthen and stabilize the electromagnetic fields within the human body. Okay, so there is a lot written here about these. I don't have any of these for sale. However, I do use them in energy work when you come to the Holistic Mystic, and there'll be a link below where we can work with the energy of these crystals for you. They are also something that you need to be careful. Lady Nellie, her land is where these come from, and they're very expensive. Like a piece like this, if you buy at retail, will run you about $100. So, you know, this is for these are very high quality, high vibrational collectors, you know, pieces for people that are very, very into working with minerals, okay? And each color has its own specific meaning, and again, they're highly controversial, but I absolutely love them. I have read that they connect you with the galaxy Andromeda, the star system Andromeda, okay? And that is one I've had, I have a very strong connection to Andromeda. It's something that I've been hearing since I was a young girl. I would hear Andromeda assists anytime I was going through something that was hard, and I would always be magically, serendipitously guided through it. And when I started to take star journeys, I was able to travel there and bring back these healing tools from Andromeda that were etheric and actually give them to some of my students to use in different channeled energy work classes. And they're amazing at removing negative energy from the earth, at least the ones that are working with me, particularly removing entities and disruptive energies. They are very benevolent, very loving, very kind. It feels amazing to work with them. They are known to be the gatekeepers. So if you're somebody who likes to work with portals or has an affinity for that, which I do, you might feel really connected to Andromeda, which in fact would make you really connected to these crystals. All right, so we're just gonna sit here and just breathe this in, and we're gonna do some Reiki, Chokure, 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 Seihiki, 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 Honchose Shonen, Honchose Shonen, Honchose Shonen, Zonar, 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 Halu, 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 Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So I want you to just breathe in that light. Align yourself with the consciousness of the star realms, the higher aspects of you, the beautiful energy that has always been with you, guiding you, transmuting vibrations, helping you to clear. And just bring that essence with you here. Awakening a sense of purity, bringing back the blessing of the I Am into you, into this earth, creating this beautiful dynamic presence as a portal opens up to you, speaks to you, building a bridge to the crystalline structure of the earth beneath you, allowing you to connect with one or more of the crystals that we talked about here, telepathically, energetically, releasing your root chakra down, down, down to meet these beautiful Andara crystals, moldavite, preonite, crystal quartz, apophyllite, danburite, Herkimer diamonds, and allow this vibrant, pure, crystalline white light to start to run through you from the higher source wisdom, purifying your spiritual intention to allow in a feeling of safety, serenity, magnetism, vibrational healing, and empower you to recover from soul wounding and to bring into you this transmission of healing. Prakashanjana nora okonda, brees echianya nora okora. We allow this frequency to be sent. Breesianyana nora okoshamba, tiana akaya, and to listen to the guidance as we move over for our reading. So start to breathe in light, and I want you to tune in to these crystals. Here we have the star-seeded crystal quartz. Here we have moldavite and tektite. And here we have Andara. And we're going to start to pull cards for each one of those crystal groups. So if you felt called to the star-seeded crystal, we're going to start with that. That'll be number 1. And if you felt called to tektites, moldavite and tektite, that'll be row number 2. And row number 3, we're going to be pulling cards for Andara, energy, just check out these cards. These are amazing. These are my crop circle cards. So each one of these is an actual crop circle that was taken. Pictures were taken of them, I mean, from all over the world at different times. This is the name of the deck. You might be able to still find it in circulation, but I think it's out of print. The school no longer exists because he passed away. Really beautiful, bright spirit. And then we're going to be working with the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. All right, so we are going to start with row number 2. Tektites. You are not alone. The card says isolation, physical connection, and community. Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, study, and higher learning. The blue flame, spontaneous awakening, activation, integration time. And then this is the crop circle. And so we'll read a little bit about that. It says, eternal return, energy fields. I am one that becomes. I am one again. This is the egg of life. And this teaches us the mysteries in the human form. So this is access to your hidden energy, sources, or primordial Jing energy. So shadow work, which I'm hearing that with the other 2 cards that you're in some kind of a healing process. So we're going to tune into that for you. So a cosmic pull is answering your questions. You're feeling drawn to an area that feels really distinct and pleasurable. It's something that you've been wanting for a long time and maybe haven't acted on it because of fear. But it's something that's definitely been calling to you. And you're ready to awaken that memory as to why you're meant to be in that place. And you might start to really feel like that awakening has a home for you, that maybe you're not where you're meant to be, and maybe this is putting it out there, but it's time to take a risk. It's time to really try whatever it is that is jumping for joy inside of your spirit, that place inside of you that's ready to act. We want you to use that to your advantage and just ride that intention and just really feel this wave of inspiration coming your way. And that is the awakening today. So enjoy that. We're going to go over here to the Starseed quartz. All right, so we've got, this is a card of boundaries. And Hadar is actually Beta Centauri. And this is a planet where there were a lot of beautiful divine love goddesses. And this planet, there is a lot of healing to do with those of you who came from this place and has an intention to really, really love openly. You're learning how to protect yourself and be the loving being that you are. So we'll talk a little bit more about that. Hadarian energy. We also got star bathing, light body, crystal grid, transmission, activation. Love this. This reminds me of that session that we just did with the Kotakuna Carpe right last night. And you also got messenger, Sirius energy, bringing harmony and balance. So the energy of the Sirian star realm is very much connected to the mystical and the magical and the fairy realm, the mermaid kingdom, the dolphins, the Sirius dolphins. It's a very dreamy and artistic, mystical deeply spiritually gifted people come from Sirius or have had lifetimes there, and as well as many other star systems, but it is known for that. And then this is the crop circle that you were drawn to. And it comes with the element of water, which is very connected to the planet, the star system Sirius. So this is a time now to create a sanctuary for spirit in your heart, and that heart energy connects with the Hadar message. This resonates. They're talking about the feminine face of the divine, the temporary temple. Temporary temple, it's very interesting. Because the Hadarians, the ones that I have met, feel very, very out of sync here. Like they can't really seem to find where they belong, and they're always looking for that in a divine union, right? And oftentimes they'll have problems with their divine union and looking for that. And there's a lot of healing that needs to go on there. But I'm going to read about this. So star bathing, you've got the love, messenger. Let's read about that. Okay, so they're talking about a chance to get to know yourself through the deepening of the concept of romantic intention. Okay, so when you're holding back, your love affair cannot get to the next stage. So even if you've been hurt before, even if there is trauma, they want you to push past where you might have issues and have been like completely reserving your strength or feeling almost isolated or set back from someone else, not being able to really share your energy. Okay, they want you to know that there is a gate that's really opening for you, that's aligning with something sacred, that's going to bring through this transmission, that's going to heal all of it. So don't even be like caught up in the past. Okay, so again, the trauma, okay, they know that there are still issues around that, like there's still triggering happening, there's still, you know, behaviors that come back with you lifetime after lifetime. But the light codes that they're really wanting to bring in this star bathing and the message that you're getting in from messenger is it's really time to activate now and to bring in this portal and really refresh your memory of who you have been and how to be the divine feminine here on earth. Okay, so this spiral galaxy here is really helping you to return to a place of like the kingdom of heaven being a portal within you where grace can come in and really bless each other. So the partner that you're with is actually here to teach you that, and they really want you to experience pleasure together. Okay, so I encourage you to ask for your higher self to come in and show you how to return to that place of love, loving, healing, loveliness, emptying out the frequency of past lifetimes and really bringing in this like divine intention to be together the right way. So that's what I'll say. All right, and so those of you who were drawn to these beautiful monatomic Andara glass crystals, we got multifaceted, unique nature, let yourself be seen. It's talking about being courageous. And you got inner earth. It says you'll survive this. New solutions and beginnings. So I love the energy of inner earth. Oh my gosh. I'm getting chills right now tuning into this for you guys. So there is a very benevolent healing vibration that comes from within this place. And if you've had a past lifetime here and you're bringing this energy here, you might feel really connected to the elementals and Lemuria and the city of Telos. So we'll get into that in just a minute. Inner earth and the courageous peony. And you got 2 crop circles here. This was marry the male and the female within yourself and become a single one. You will recover your beloved. This is about unity consciousness, and this is also a symbol of Tantra. Wow. And this one's almost exactly the same. Look at that. Oh my gosh. That's wild. Sense the oneness within you. Dance of the apparent polarities. Consult with a high priestess at Chalice Wells in Glastonbury. Visualize yourself standing in the center of the circle, nested within the almond eye, at the core of the Vessia Pisces formation. You'll find yourself in the portal where the creation is being birthed. Be aware of your role as a witness with the power to balance visible and invisible worlds, light and dark, order and chaos, good and evil, known and unknown, yin and yang. So polarity balancing. All right. Courageous, inner earth, Vesica Pisces, yin and yang. So you're being brought to a level of awareness of where your body, lights the match to the spirit realm for you. So again, we're talking about feeling safe in your body and really activating that sense of home here. So a lot of starseeds are looking for that, okay? So that's where the courageousness happens, is how to be bold and natural and in the union that you're in, and really know that it is safe to be vulnerable and to hold space really well that way, that there's going to be a helper with you, that you're not going to be alone here. And that when you show up for people this way with your heart and an expansive joy, that you're going to know what your full strength actually looks like. And people are going to come to you with a knowing that you're a safe partner, that you're a safe friend, that you have something to offer them. And this is when you're going to give back to the world in the way that you are meant to, and also receive without emptiness, without drying the well. So thank you for being here. Honor yourself. Have patience. This is fun. You're in a beginning. This is a new awareness that you're having. You're right at the threshold of breaking through. I see this like this sprout happening, like as if you had planted seeds long ago and they're just getting ready to just break right through the top. Okay, so you're almost there. You're really, really close to something. Magically center yourself in your body and really connect deep within the process of your physical strength. That's where the inner earth comes from, because we are in our elemental bodies here, and there is magic in the earth realm for you. So they're wanting you to remember that so that you can actually feel safe in your physical form. Okay, because you have a very high vibration and you're used to being in other dimensions. So this physical world is hard for you. But it won't be if you can connect with your Agarthian lifetimes or your lifetimes in Telos. All right, so thank you, sweet soul, for being here. I look forward to seeing you next Thursday. Until we meet again, have a great night.